MyTV WQMY presents Men's College Lacrosse, presented by Wendy's.
Welcome to the campus of Marywood University in Scranton for today's men's lacrosse action between Susquehanna Riverhawks and the Marywood Pacers. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bob I, joined by Bob Vanderheyden, Coach Van, part of the Philadelphia Lacrosse Association. And Bob, these two teams might not play in different conferences, but it's still a big game today.
Yeah, you don't want to lose a game for any reason. You want to continue those wins throughout your entire overall season. So I'm sure both of these teams are using this to get ready for their other conference play.
Susquehanna, a big win last Saturday against Moravian. They're 8-3 overall. They're looking for a big game today from their star, Chet McLaughlin.
And Chet has risen up and become a leader. He's got 33 goals, 80 points on the season. He's going to look to continue that into today's game.
Marywood not having their typical positive season, but they could turn it around today with a win. Matt Casto looking for a big game.
And Matt, again, is stepping up as a leader. He's got 16 goals, 15 assists, 31 points on the season. I'm sure he wants to continue his winning streak as this game goes through.
The rain has left, the sun is out. We are ready for college lacrosse at Marywood. When we come back, starting lineups, keys to the game, and the opening faceoff.
College Lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by Wendy's.
Teams are ready to go, but first we have to check out the lineups here as we get ready for college lacrosse. For the Riverhawks, 8-3 overall, 1-1 in the Landmark Conference. Here are your starting lineups. At defense, we have Murphy, Waitman, and Salonis, a junior. The middies, DeGregoria, Purnell, and Lanai. And the attack, one change. We have Jack Conley in place of Andrew Posio. We have Olette and McLaughlin. The goalie today, Dylan Appamap, 74 goal average. Goals against average, 7.04, 110 saves on the year. He's a sophomore out of Graysonville, Maryland. For the Pacers of Marywood, 4-7 overall, 1-1 in CSAC play. Sedlock, McFadden, and Mazzone are on the defensive side. The middies who will start this, Butera, Pickrell, and Littman, and up front on attack, Bija, Casto, and Vaughn. The big change today in goal, junior Favali. Chris Favali gets the start. Vinny Bicancarde is sick, so the junior steps in. Has only played in 4 games, 10 saves overall, goals against average 1.93. Here are your keys to the game. First up, Coach, how about for the Riverhawks?
Well, offensive output. They've got to bring it up at the offensive end of the field. And as you see in a minute, we're going to have a face-off. They need to start right from there.
And for the Pacers of Marywood?
Consistency, consistency, consistency. We talked about leadership a few minutes ago. So having that consistency from the whole team and bring on that intensity to play the full game out here. That's what Marywood needs to bring.
This has become a rivalry of sorts. Marywood and Susquehanna both like to play CSAC teams and Landmark Conference. Landmark Conference, for those who don't know, that's teams like Scranton in there. They play very good lacrosse as Marywood lost to Scranton overall. So the face-off goes to Purnell, and it will be the Riverhawks who have the ball, but looks like we got a quick ground ball, and that will be very important as well.
Yeah, like we just mentioned, it's going to come down to that offensive output and consistency. Both of these teams are really going to need to work together here. So Marywood eventually came up with the ball. They're using their defensive squad. They're going to space out, give themselves some room to work. And let's see what this goalie can do here on a clear.
Yeah, the Vivale hasn't played much, so that's a big change. Anytime you have to bring in a backup goalie to play a team like Susquehanna, it's going to be tough. So they get it into the box after their 30 seconds. Long stick midi Pickrell has it for now. Expect and replace him with a short stick. He will come out, and Marywood will set up their offense.
Bob, I had a couple minutes before the game to talk with a Marywood coach a little bit. I mean, that he feels like he does have a squad. They're developing their leadership and developing their offense. offensive set that they worked on this week so that they can control and game out on the field.
Marywood, 7.82 goals per game, 57% on their shots on goal. Turnovers 202 on the year, a bit high, but looks like they get it back, and it goes right back into the goalie for Susquehanna. Appamap. If you look at his spelling, it doesn't look like that at all, but it is Appamap. And they'll set up their clear.
Well, this Susquehanna defensive squad has got a little more depth in their talent. Talking with their coach, he's pretty confident about their defense. Goalie's a good leader in there. They're all working together. Even with the injury, he wasn't worried about that at all.
Riverhawks are second in scoring in the Landmark Conference, over 10 goals per game. Second in the conference on shots and goals, 59%. And they average around 37 shots per game, and they win 51% of their faceoffs. It's good enough to at least get things going, but I know Coach Stuart Moan in his 10th season would like to see a little bit better percentage on the faceoffs. No shots on goal yet. Both teams just trying to feel each other out on what has turned out to be an overcast afternoon at the turf field on Marywood University campus.
Coach of the Susquehanna team had mentioned to me that his offense is kind of a work in progress here. Look like they're working very well together.
And they do, and it is that Chet McLaughlin, looks like number 9, scored out of New Jersey, his 34th goal on the year. He was right in front of the new goalie.
And yeah, he put himself right in the perfect spot, right in front of the crease there. He got a quick little feed. It's those quick, tight passes that'll throw the goalies off. If you see this, there's a feed coming from number 8. He doesn't have the shot, so he drops it off to number 9, who had a wide open goal right behind the goalie. That's what should happen. That's textbook for crease players playing right in front of the crease. Pull the goalie one way and then stick it in right behind him. So I'm sure, there's always a little bit of butterflies when you're goalie. You get in there the first one of the game. So let's see how the Marywood goalie is able to adjust and handle the rest of the game.
Susquehanna wins that face-off.
And immediately they used their defense. They went with the strength, so let's bring it back to our defense. Get our substitution, the people we want out on the field.
Pacers lost to Susquehanna last year down in Sealands Grove, 11-5. And not a good start right now for Marywood. They like to score more goals, and that's what Coach Perrell talked about. He wants to find out who's gonna step in and be that leader. They did lose a bunch to graduation last year. So offsides.
Now, well, what you see there, Bob, is called over and back. What happened was the ball. Okay, the one referee is pulling a correction call out there. But what the first referee called was the ball actually was in Susquehanna's possession. It came over the midfield into their defensive end of the field, and then they took it right back again. It's a relatively new rule in the game of lacrosse. And that's what that first official had called, but then the second official came in with a correction there.
So they're working around the X. Back out front to Lanai, tries to dodge. McLaughlin behind the net, looking for a feed. He finds it, they hit the crossbar. That was Olette who had the shot, but a great pass from McLaughlin, and he'll go right back over to the Pacers, though.
Well, I think number 8 actually dropped the ball in that. I think the defense stepped up, Marywood defense stepped up and were able to knock the ball out of his stick before he got the shot off. So that was very good for the Marywood defense there. And now the Susquehanna is riding very hard.
So Pacers step in, they'll try to even this one up overall. They're 4th in the CSAC in shots on goal. 18.9 are the Pacers. About 33 shots per game. Big thing for them, but 44 penalties on the season. They have to watch that today.
Penalties will kill you.
It will.
If they have too many man-down situations, that can start beating up on your defense. There's
shot, score. Marywood. Rob Maney ties it up out of Massapequa, New York. His 18th goal of the year.
A very nice shot. We were able to look right over his shoulder as he took that one. It was a nice bounce shot. You'll see it coming in right next to the goalie. Gets the shot bounced right past the goalie. He was actually able to squeeze that right in there between the goalie and the pipe. So
looks like Luke Schindler, who had the assist, has 9th on the season. So that's a good way to get it right back if you're the Pacers, tied up at 1. So Littman again against Purnell on the faceoffs. Susquehanna 2 for 2 already on the faceoffs. Let's see if they make it 3 for 3. And Marywood gets this ground ball and they get possession. They lose it on a turnover. Great ride by the Riverhawks, Bob, and they pick up the ground ball.
yes, yeah, the defense there, that defensive midfield line did not give up. Even though Marywood may have come up with that ball initially, that was a strong ride all the way through until they got the ball. So I'm sure the coach of the Riverhawks is happy to see that kind of play out there on the faceoff. We'd mentioned it before in other games. If you can control that faceoff, you can control possession of the game. You can extend your offensive play. You can put more points up on the board. There's many reasons for wanting to win that faceoff.
Connor Ward passes it back out to Kyle Watts. He's a freshman. Has some room.
I am seeing Susquehanna's offense using a lot of movement and a lot of passes. There's a lot of movement, a lot of passes here. They're trying to use that, use some open space.
Great by him. Seth DeVere gets a cross on it and causes a turnover for Marywood.
And you see Susquehanna is riding pretty hard here. Their attack and not letting up.
Riverhawks have it. They pull it out. Salonis pulled it out. He'll come off the field. And they'll put the offense back in the short sticks. You're allowed 4 long sticks on the defensive side. Marywood has that, so it becomes a matchup game then.
Yes, I'm sure what Susquehanna is trying to do is get their best offensive players against the 2 remaining short stick defensive players. Just gives them a little bit better of an opportunity. Maybe that gives those players a little more room to work. Those long stick defenders, with that long stick, it gives them that large reach. They can easier to lay down some stick checks or to intercept passes.
One thing I did notice is Chet McLaughlin. We talked about him in pregame. The shot is off the goal. That was a great shot by Kyle Watts, and Marywood gets it. What I was going to say is Skylar Swope for Marywood is literally shadowing Chet McLaughlin on the X, not letting him get anything and be an impact on this game. There's Tyler Perrell's 3rd season, 22-25 overall. They were the runner-ups in the CSAC in 2015. And as a lot of teams have done recently, the Cabrini is dominating CSAC action. And they're dominating once again. But Marywood was picked 3rd preseason poll. A couple injuries here and some players going in and out, and they're at 4 and 7 right now, but they'll pick up play in the next couple of weeks, will the Pacers.
Hopefully their injuries will return. Those guys will get better and be able to get back out on the field and step back into their roles. It always hurts when your starting goalie is injured.
Well, he's sick.
He's sick.
There
I'm
are
sorry.
sicknesses
Yes,
going
yes.
around,
Yes.
as I know.
But so far, the goalie that they've got in there, he's not doing bad.
No, not at all.
No. I see Marywood is moving the ball around. They're looking to see what this defense is going to show them. Are they going to play aggressive? Are they going to give them some space to work? Coach Perrell was talking to me about this offensive set that he's got right here. Wide open offensive set. Try to space out.
Long shot.
Defender defender got in the way of that one. He made the save.
Minarotunda.
26.
I just wanted to say Minarotunda. That was Matt Minarotunda out of Rockaway, New Jersey, took the shot. Bounced off the crossbar. On the transition, Marywood comes out with a big hit. And we're going to have a push. Riverhawks retain possession. So they're going to make the changes needed. Jack Donnelly here's the big hit.
Yeah, yeah, right there. As we have mentioned in other broadcasts, men's lacrosse is pretty physical, but there is a line that you can't cross, and the officials, they'll let you know when that happens.
4 shots today from Susquehanna, 1 goal in. It was an early goal, but so far the Marywood defense has done a nice job clamping down on Susquehanna since then.
I think both defenses have put up a good showing so far. Marywood defense has got a lot of communication. I'm hearing a lot of communication out there. Their slides are coming, and they're recovering from those slides, as you just saw.
Oh, McLaughlin, the feeder. Couldn't get the pass, so they'll work it back out. There's our first flag of the afternoon. We'll go against the Pacers. Still, though, time for Susquehanna. They have numbers. Good passing, shot on goal, off the mark by Donnelly. And we'll see what the penalty is now. Slashing's the call against number 22, Polari.
I believe you said yes, number 22.
My bad.
22 for Marywood is in the penalty box here. So now we'll see what Susquehanna is going to do with their man-up opportunity. When I was talking with the Susquehanna coach earlier, he did mention about how his offense, he feels, is kind of a work in progress, but they are showing progress. So let's see what these players are able to do. And a lot of nice, tight passes. A lot of forcing the defense to move.
So still time on the penalty. 30 seconds left, but Marywood doing a nice job. There's Stuart Moan, 10th season at Susquehanna, 28th over as a coach, 91 wins with the Riverhawks. They were landmark champs in 11, 13, and in 2014.
That's off White. That's
So,
off White.
Marywood now, the thing is they want to waste time, get this penalty expired.
Yes, and since they are a man down still, it's not. Let's see if the Susquehanna defense is able to come up and double team the ball, which is what they probably should do. Add a little more pressure on.
Marywood's man-up defense is very good. They just covered in 40 attempts. Opponents have only scored 9 goals.
That's
so you just saw the defense there.
Yeah, it's very good.
Against
very good
against Susquehanna.
We're back to even strength too. So penalty is released.
No harm, no foul. Now Marywood trying to take their first lead of the afternoon. Coming in with a loss over Gwynn and Mercy, 8-4. Before that, they lost to Kings. Their last win against Newman by 3, 13-10.
Now, Marywood has already changed their offensive set a little bit. They've got some players in on the crease, so they are trying to use that space, trying to get some opportunities, and there's one right there.
Shot, score, Maney, number 40, again, puts it behind the net.
Fantastic. This was a great feed. It looks like this feed came from back at X. We'll get a look at it here. Yep, as soon as that player back at X pulled the slide, he was able to feed. A quick dodge right around the stick, and then a low shot, little worm burner, right underneath the goalie. So
two goals for Maney on the afternoon. Make that 19-4 of the season. Junior gives the Pacers their first lead of the afternoon here in the first. Big face-off, going to be won by the Pacers. So momentum shifting a little bit, Bob, now in favor of Marywood. And I think it started on the defensive side on that defense against the man up.
Yeah, they were able to make that stop and to survive the man down situation, which is a good thing. Be able to bring the ball up, maintain possession. And once they went full strength, and there was a lot of movement back at X and on the wing. I was seeing a lot of passing back and forth, and Marywood is definitely moving the ball. Now they're back in their wide open set here, so let's see if they. It looks to me like they'd like to get some offense working off of this. This is what Coach Perel was talking about before the game.
And they're doing against the top defense in the Landmark Conference already this season. They give up only 7.36 goals per game.
This defense.
This defense does. So 2 goals already in the first. That's a good sign if you're a Marywood fan.
This kind of an offensive set, too, by the way, it pulls the defense out. So the defense, when they go to make that slide and pick up that offensive player that's getting penetration, they've got to run that much farther. So if they can, I would bet that part of Coach Perrell's plan is to do this early, wear down the defense, and then capitalize on that, later on in the game.
Shot back out, Maney, left-handed, great save by Appenlap. And now they'll clear. I'm going to get used to saying that name. Don't worry. Appenlap.
Okay.
So coming up under a minute here in the first quarter. Bob Vander Hayden. Turned out to be a sunny afternoon in Scranton for college lacrosse.
Don't jinx it.
I won't jinx it. This is the first game of a doubleheader. We'll have high school action for you at 7:30 on this same field as Delaware Valley takes on Scranton Prep. So still time now for Susquehanna to tie it up before the quarter ends.
They've been getting a lot of quick moves, and one right there.
Great save by Vivale.
Fantastic save.
Well, he's come in with good numbers. He just doesn't have the start. Just 4 games in his action, but he has a 1.93 goals against. 5 seconds. Transition opportunity. Susquehanna. Great defense, and that is how the quarter will end. So Susquehanna took an early 1-0 lead. Marywood comes back with 2 straight, and they lead here after 1, 2-1. Marywood with the early lead. Here's how the standings play out so far in CSAC action. As we talked about, Cabrini and Immaculata up at top, Centenary and Gwen and Mercy. And there's Newman. And Marywood will already have to play Immaculata in next game so they can pick up a game right there. There are your CSAC standings. We'll take a look at the Landmark standings shortly. After 1, 2-1. Face-offs even right now, Bob. 2 wins apiece.
And the score is this close, 2-1. So neither team has really jumped out as the leader here so far. Both teams have been strong on offense. They've both been controlled, and they've been able to possess the ball for a little while.
Riley Littman, sorry Bob, cut you off. The junior Palmyra wins that face-off, 50% on wins on this season, and then a big one right there gives Marywood the possession, looking for a 3-1 lead.
And I was saying that both of the defenses are also coming out strong. So we may have a very low-scoring game here. And it's always good when 2 strong teams are playing each other. You don't want to see, I know I've said this before, but you don't want to see a blowout by either team. So this makes for good lacrosse.
The 2 goals scored by the Pacers by Rob Maney out of Massapequa, New York. He's 19 on the season right now, number 40. Shot just a little wide. Bit of rotunda out of Rockaway, New Jersey. So they'll set it back up.
I'll tell you, Marywood is making a lot of really good passes. They're making some long passes all the way across a couple of defensive players. They're making some tight inside crease passes. They're also drawing the defense, and then they're effectively using that. That slide from Susquehanna, I'm noticing, is coming pretty quick. So I think Marywood is, they're adjusting to that very, very well. They're pulling that slide. That defensive player is coming up to play the man with the ball, just like what just happened right there. And when the defense makes that slide, Marywood is very good at finding the open man on the opposite side of the field. So if Marywood can keep that going, I'm sure the more that they can do that, the more success they're going to have. And that one was another one just a bit outside.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 inches from the pipe. So
that was Austin Mailer out of Derry, New Hampshire, who took that long shot off the mark, but Marywood retains possession. I wouldn't look for a possession clock here. They're doing well on this possession, so I don't think the referees are going to even think of that.
I don't think they're going to use it this early in the game. both teams have been working hard. Both defenses have been working hard. So usually you see that clock come into play when when it appears that one team is trying to delay things a little bit.
Maney's got the left-handed shot going. It was off the mark as well. Little change of personnel for Marywood. Johnson comes in number 10. Bring it out in front. Casto. Goal, Pacers. Right out in front, Matt Casto, 17th goal of the season.
And that was kind of a repeat of what we saw in the first goal of today's game. Just that offensive player just positioned himself right on the crease. It was ready for that feed. As soon as that feed came in, he was able to just tuck it in right behind the goalie. You'll see this here. This pass is coming from one side of the field, that feed right to the other side. Goalie could not react fast enough. And Marywood just puts it in right behind the goalie there.
Boy, a big confidence boost, 3-1 lead, Pacers over the Riverhawks. Coming off a tough loss the other day. They're looking for goals, and they found 3 early ones. Change out the face-off for Susquehanna. Pierce Meade comes in, and he wins it. He's number 15.
He came up with that pretty quick, too, by the way.
So we'll see if he remains in there.
Yeah.
Now joining us is the Director of Athletics at Marywood University, Mary Jo Gunning. Dr.
Hello,
Gunning,
Bob.
how are you?
Hello. Very good. Thank
Bob
you
and Bob
for being
here.
It's the Bob and Bob show.
Yeah. And you brought the sunshine, Mary
We'll
Jo.
have to say the Bob and Joe Bob.
There you go. There.
Hey, we were worried about rain, Mary Jo, and a beautiful sunny afternoon.
It never rains at Marywood, Bob.
Just
At
wind.
least not in our hearts.
After 4 o'clock, it never rains.
True. That's true.
Well, your team is doing very well out here. The offense has been able to put some points up on the board, which is a great thing, and your defense is coming together very strong. I'm hearing a lot of communication from them, working together as a unit. So that's always a good thing.
I think they rebounded well after their loss.
Yep, they have. Hey, Mary Jo, let's talk about your spring sports.
Okay.
Talk to us. You have a bunch of them, so I'm not going to say who's doing well. You could certainly talk about all of them.
Well, we do, and actually we have some. We have one that's relatively new. We have both women's golf and men's golf, and women's golf is new. And I just received exciting news about women's golf.
You can keep going.
Okay, it's not sponsored by our conference yet. There's not enough institutions, but we have been invited and extremely excited and accepted. We will be part of the landmark conference for women's golf next year, so we're thrilled.
Let's check the penalty first before we keep going, Mary Jo.
Absolutely.
So we got number 12 on the push, and it is Zenteus, Marywood, New Jersey. He's going to be out, so Marywood man-up opportunity. And on the season, they're 11 of 35, 31%. Not bad for a man-up opportunity for the Pacers.
Well, they were able to kill that man-down situation they had before. So now let's see if on the other side of the coin, if they're able to capitalize on a man-up situation here. So in talking with Coach Burrell, again, he was talking about a wide-open set, which is typically what happens in your...
That's a turnover.
Yeah, that was a turnover right there. However...
So great job by Susquehanna to read that turnover. That was Dan Murphy, the sophomore, and now an opportunity for the Riverhawks to kill it off. So, Mary Jo, let's pick up where we left off.
Okay.
Women's golf headed to the Landmark Conference, which Susquehanna is in.
Which will be awesome. And we also are a member of Landmark with swim and diving. Let's not forget, as we're watching men's lacrosse, women's lacrosse.
Yes.
They're having a great season. Great season, good success, strong program. Katie, their coach, has been here, I believe, 4 years now.
And Bob's going to talk about the goal.
There's a little replay on this goal. The man down, Susquehanna, was able to get some penetration right in there, right in front of the goalie, and it's that lateral movement side to side. Looks like he just was able to peek around that defensive player and put the ball in the net there.
The Seabright, New Jersey native, 11th goal on the season, and Marywood's lead now down to 1. So keep going.
Bob, we also have We also have a relatively, I think it's probably their third year of sponsorship, men's and women's track and field.
That's right.
And we're 50 plus strong and doing very well. We also had a little bit of indoor track and field activity this year, and that may be an area that we can grow in. We have our baseball and our softball. Want to acknowledge Rob, our field expert. He was recently acknowledged nationwide for his maintaining of fields,
Outstanding.
Field of Dreams in baseball and softball.
That's outstanding. And you needed it this year. You needed a professional.
Absolutely. I think it's been most challenging also for our softball, baseball, and our tennis.
Yes.
Or not tennis, our golf. We also have men's tennis occurring now. New news, women's tennis will be sponsored next year for the first time, traditional season in the spring.
Okay.
That's
a change.
Absolutely. And one of the more exciting things that are happening, it's all exciting, spring sports. When the fall sports were over, we emerged as #1 in the CSAC. Also want to acknowledge, put a plug in there that we are #1 academically in the CSAC.
That's right.
And I'm hoping that our spring sports allow us to get back to that #1 position and to get our cups.
So the Riverhawks tie it up. 9:04 remaining in the second quarter.
There was a lot of movement on the offense there. They just kept moving and moving the defense around, breaking the defense down, and then looking for that shooting alley. I see here a lot of passing, and then all of a sudden just a little breakdown on the defense. Just a little bit. That offensive player, number 9, was able to use both of those defensive players to kind of screen the goalie and then get a low shot in there.
So McLaughlin scored. Number 9, his second of the afternoon. He has 35 goals now on the year. Knows Chet McLaughlin, the senior. And the Riverhawks tie it up. Still no possession. Somebody wants it, right, Bob?
Well, I think
ground ball so important.
Yeah. I think the refs did call possession. Marywood did have it for a few seconds there. That's why.
There's a push in the back.
We got a little push in the back.
And so it will be Riverhawks ball.
Yeah.
That's why the attack and the defense were able to come out of the restraining boxes, because the refs did call possession, and the Riverhawks were looking to take advantage of that, of a transition here.
There you saw the push in the back.
There was the push in the back, but out on the field, the Riverhawks were trying to take advantage of the changing personnel on the field. They forced one, and a pass went out of bounds. So now Marywood has got this with their goalie, and I'm looking at the way Susquehanna is riding here, Bob.
Looks
and
like a 10-man ride.
This looks very familiar. Like
Yes,
we just saw this
yes.
a couple of days ago, I
Bucknell.
believe. Yeah, Bucknell was running a 10-man ride, and now Susquehanna was just doing a 10-man ride. They were trying to.
And they're not far apart, 30 miles, not even.
Well, it looked like they were just trying to kind of form a wall at the midfield line here and not let Marywood get it over, but they were able to. They brought it in. So let's see what.
Let's see if the Pacers can get one back after giving 2 straight.
Yes.
And Mary Jo, we continue our conversation. Director of Athletics here at Marywood, and the big news is you're adding rugby.
Adding rugby, women's and men's rugby, which is not sponsored by NCAA.
That's right.
So is a nationwide club sport. However, at Marywood, we will be treating it as a varsity sport, and we will have a full-time administrator who is also a head coach for both programs. We are extremely excited by it. That person will be on board July 1, start the recruiting preparation process with our first sponsorship year, 18-19.
And Susquehanna has had it for years. I did a story on them for years, and they were actually in one of the national championships out in Vegas. I think it's a 7-man game or something like that.
Yeah, there's 7s on 7s.
So Susquehanna has it. So it's not new. It's growing rugby.
Absolutely. Women's rugby is the #1 growing sport in the nation. So I think it will fill a really good niche for our student athletes, our current and our future. And also want to mention that the most important thing for all of us, particularly here at Marywood in Division III, is the student athlete and their experience. And this week, is our National Student Athlete Week celebration. So I think we are 300 strong, and I think it's important that we celebrate 300 plus our student athletes and our coaches.
You are on the committee for Division III, correct?
Yes, yes.
So
I am no longer on it, but
okay,
I have
you
been
have
on
been, yes.
for over 20 some years. Yes.
And it's a different beast than different Division I versus Division III.
Absolutely. Don't even talk about the pay for play concept to me. Please.
Not at this
please,
level.
Please. I'd like to think that Division III is a pure collegiate sports venue.
So the Riverhawks with the last 2 goals, they've tied it up in this one. They have possession. And Bob, it's a very tight game, and you can tell by face-off, you can tell by the play.
Yeah, we mentioned before in the face-offs that there was no real standout leader, and that both of these teams got strong offense and strong defense, and we just saw it right there. A nice little interception by Marywood. And looks like they're going to, rotate and get the personnel that they want out on the field.
So Marywood with 9 shots, 3 goals. The same for Susquehanna. So both teams not really getting a real advantage in the stats, and you can tell by the scoreboard, we're tied at 3.
Yeah, we're gonna have a close game here. This is, I'm excited for the 4th quarter. I mean, it'll get here eventually, and I can wait for it, but I'm excited to see what's gonna happen, because if it continues at this pace, it's gonna come down to the last minute or 2 of the game. Like I mentioned before, Marywood's passing and catching skills are exactly what they need them to be.
Casto out in front, great save by Appamap, and we have a crease violation. So good defense for Susquehanna.
From here, it looked like he got pushed in, but the officials are closer. They know what they're calling.
You mentioned men's golf. Now, I believe last year they went to the NCAAs, correctly?
They did. I believe that we have been conference champions in men's golf 2 years.
Yep.
2 years, yep.
And it's been around for how long?
Only for 3 or 4. So relatively new sport.
You've added sports in the last 5 years.
Yes, we have.
And you've added a
Yes,
lot.
we have.
So how many do you have now, varsity sports?
Without our both rugbies, we are up to 20.
Okay.
20
and
varsity
so we will be
sports?
at 22. We have about 300 and, it varies a little, but 320 and change student athletes.
With the increase of varsity sports that you have offered here, how does that affect the enrollment and recruiting, and like, does that gain a lot more attention
Absolutely.
for Marywood? I mean,
absolutely, absolutely. Athletics can be an excellent recruitment enrollment management tool.
Do you see your
great save?
Great save by the goalie there.
Bavale, yeah. He's playing well.
He's playing very well,
really
for being thrown in because the starting goalie was sick. So, yeah, he's definitely risen to the challenge. Do you see most of your student athletes coming from one part or region of the country or another, or are they
Bob,
generally all over?
That's an excellent question, but I do have to say, oftentimes it's sports specific.
Okay.
So, but primarily,
I mean, Lacrosse has like hotbeds up in the Syracuse, Rochester, Long Island, Maryland,
Maryland,
and that kind of thing. So I didn't know if
primarily though we are heavily recruiting from the tri-states, New York, Jersey, Pennsylvania, some Connecticut, but it does depend really on the sport.
I would like to see it grow where Marywood can just take some local players for lacrosse as we grow that sport here.
Absolutely.
And hopefully they can come right here.
Starting.
It is starting.
I mean, I can say in the last 5 years, I see significant increase.
Yeah, the level has risen for lacrosse in northeastern and central Pennsylvania.
Absolutely. Hey, I think back on the Sockers.
2-on-1 transition. What a save of a volley.
Perfect save. That goalie got down low, and he made a perfect save with that one.
McLaughlin right out in front, and they tried out to get it to Willette in front. Defense doing a great job at Marywood. 90 seconds to play in the half. We're tied at 3. And we're going to have our timeout, and we're going to take a timeout ourselves. 1:32 remaining in the half. 3-3 at Marywood.
College Lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by Wendy's.
Current Landmark Conference standings. There you see Elizabethtown, who've already beaten Susquehanna. They've also beaten Marywood and Catholic as well, both undefeated. Susquehanna's right there, though. 4 playoff spots available in Landmark standings, and we're just heating up action in Lacrosse. 132 left, tied at 3. Marywood and Susquehanna. Susquehanna has the last 2 goals, but the Pacers called the timeout to set up their offense, Bob, and it'll go a long way to take a lead going into the break for either team.
Yeah, when it's this close, right before the half, you want to generate something. So when you go into the locker room and your team gets together, you can come back out strong.
Casto looking for someone to feed.
Both defenses have been playing strong, and both offenses have been playing strong as well. This is a very good matchup with these two teams.
Coming in, you look at the records, you don't know how evenly matched they are, but definitely from the play we've seen, definitely an even matchup here today.
Oh yes. Now here we go. Marywood will take this out. They're going to run a little isolation and see if they can get some movement. Like I mentioned before, they were playing very well off of the Susquehanna slide. So let's see if they're able. They're moving the ball all the way around. They're trying to generate something right in on the crease.
Marywood still has a timeout. Susquehanna has both, and there is a timeout. And we'll take a quick break ourselves again. When we come back to the last 30 seconds of the half here in Scranton. Under 30 to play. Marywood with an opportunity. Shot, score, Pacers. They take the lead, 4-3. Jeff Johnson making a nice dodge, gets his 6th goal of the season.
And you'll see the coach drew up a perfect play right here, pulled out an isolation up top. Marywood offensive player just came cutting right in and was looking for that slide. As soon as that slide happened, he just put it right on the top, right above the goalie, which is an odd thing because that goalie looks to be about 6 feet tall. So if you watch this right here, you'll see that number 10 just pulled his player out. He had to match up with the short stick and then just shot right over the top of that Susquehanna goalie there.
The goalie is 6'3", by the way.
6'3", yeah. He may have gone down low or something or expected a low shot there. You're talking about matchups before. That was exactly what coach was looking for.
Okay, now opportunity for the Riverhawks to tie it up, and they're gonna take a timeout and we'll stay right here. So 20 seconds left, 4-3 the score. Well, I thank Dr. Gunning for joining us, the Director of Athletics here in Marywood. A lot of sports being added. Rugby, the latest, coming soon. So here's what's happened so far for the Pacers. Roller coaster of a season. Just 4 wins, but things heating up. There you see the loss to Elizabethtown.
Yeah, with those last two losses there, they're looking to win today just to turn things back around. As we mentioned before, going into their conference as part of the season, you want to get in there with a couple of wins.
I know it's a tough loss anytime they play the crosstown rival in Scranton. They just didn't have it that night, and they lost 11-5 to the Royals. But I'm sure if they played like they did today, it'd be a lot closer. So now Susquehanna's drawing up what they want in the last 23 seconds. And how will we tell you? 15, I should say, shots on goal, 10 for Marywood. And here's the upcoming schedule. As I mentioned, right in the CSAC play, Bob.
Yeah, so they're going to want to win today to carry them right into this so that they can be successful in this part of their season,
and
their
still,
spring.
Teams ahead of them that they can catch too. 4 playoff spots available. They can catch a Maculata. Rosamond's ahead of them. Cabrini's leading. Centenary's ahead of them. And then to end the season with Keystone. So plenty of chances for the Pacers to get a playoff spot.
I would also bet that's why Coach Perrell was putting that particular set out on the offense and why he's running it today. They started off, didn't have as much success, changed the set, got a couple of points, but he went right back to that set. I would bet that in the future games he's looking to call on
Zanatias,
that.
long shot, great save of volley. He's played
Fantastic
outstanding today, sends it all the way down, under 10.
Clearing pass all the way down to his attack, all Although everybody is kind of swiping at it. They've got 4 seconds left. It's just going to be a throw back and forth.
So late shot on goal and the horn sound. So the Pacers and the half with a goal. They break the 3-3 tie and they'll take a 4-3 lead into the break. When we come back, we'll meet the women's lacrosse team here for Marywood, and Bob and I will be back with stats and highlights here on MyTV.
College Lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by Wendy's.
Back on what has turned out to be a beautiful afternoon for college lacrosse on the campus of Marywood University. Well, tomorrow right here on the turf field, the women's lacrosse team will take on Cedar Crest in CSAC action. The Pacers are 6-4 overall, 3-1 in conference play, and having a pretty good year. I had a chance to meet them and to introduce you to them last week.
Picked third in the Colonial States Athletic Conference preseason poll, the women's lacrosse players from Marywood have already beaten one of the teams ahead of them last week in Newman. It was the Pacers' first win in 7 tries against the preseason number 2.
So far, the season's gone really well. We started out very strong. We had a really big first win over Alvernia, which was a big turnaround from the prior year. So overall, the season has started very, very well for us.
This is hands down the best team. This is the best defensive team I think we've had through the past 4 years, and this is just we have clicked. We've been able to work really hard all season, and definitely shows on the field this year. We've been recruiting in. Our freshmen are amazing. Our sophomores are getting better. Our juniors are even better before, and our seniors are, we're doing our best to lead the team. And I think this is definitely going to be our year.
I think so far one of our best seasons. I think, like I said before, we go into every practice and we all put in 110%, and that's going to get us far. So far, our expectations, we're meeting them.
The Pacers are paced by an experienced team this season that has a number of players who were picked all CSAC in 2016.
So we have Lauren Smith, who's been our starting goalie for the past 4 years. She's a senior, so we expected big things from her, and so far, right now, she's leading the CSAC in save percentage, which has been fantastic. Natalie Burke, one of our other seniors, has played a tremendous role for us in the midfield, so she does all the little things that don't generally get put in the stats, but she's done really well. And then Ashley Ballaway, who was a first-team player last year as a freshman, currently leads our team in goals, so she's also come back with a follow-up very, very strong sophomore year.
We're all right with each other. I think our defense is good because our offense pushes us hard every practice. I think our offense is good because, our defense is strong. We switched to a zone this year, which was definitely different than a man. And we've worked really hard to get up to that level and to play really hard during practice. And it shows during our games. Our attack is ready for a zone defense. We're ready to play those hard teams because our defense is able to do that in practice.
Offensively, we definitely mesh really well. I think it helps that we're all generally friends and a family here, so it definitely helps that we mesh really well. We have so many great drivers, and we're also a really big feeding team, so we assist each other a lot. So that's really great. There's not just one main goal scorer. We all contribute to the team equally. There's middies, attackers, everybody is able to score, which is great. So it's not we have to depend on one person or a few. We all have so much talent, so it really meshes well together.
When Katie Tutak took over the program 3 years ago, one of her main goals was to make this Marywood team into a family. And they have. And now it translates into wins on the field.
Our team chemistry is phenomenal. If you ask the players, what is our team like, they'll generally say we're like a family. And that's what, when I came in as a coach, that's what I wanted to create. And that's, the players have bought in, and we really do have a very close-knit team. And we just got back from a wonderful spring break. So they're very, very close. Team chemistry couldn't be better.
We all meld together somehow. We all bring each other up. If someone's down, we're always there to pick each other up. We hang out on and off the field. We have pasta parties before games, little things like that. We're all friends in the classroom, out of the classroom. We're always hanging out, and I think that just, once we walk onto that field, it shows.
With higher expectations and better talent, now comes the pressure on this Pacer team. A year ago, they made it to the CSAC semifinals. This year, the goals are even higher.
I think we need to learn from the past, but kind of also just, let it go a little bit. We're definitely a different team. We're working really hard, and learn that we made it to the semis. We can do that again, and we're going to do it better this year, and we're going to get to the finals.
We have new players. Everybody bring something different. And I think this year we're not focusing on the past, but on the future. Our motto is chase the dream. So the dream for us is CSAC champs, and we all believe that we can do that. So I think it's really important that we focus on that dream and everyone is on the same page. So.
Again, the Pacers will take on Cedar Crest at Marywood tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We're at the half between the Pacers and the Riverhawks. 4-3 is the score.
College lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by Wendy's.
Turned out to be a beautiful afternoon in Scranton. College lacrosse here on MyTV. Marywood leads Susquehanna 4-3. Bob Vanderheyden, Coach Van, and pretty good first half, Bob. Pretty equal in what we've seen.
A very good first half. Both teams strong on offense, both teams strong on defense. Both teams are making their goalies move. We're reviewing some of those highlights, and
well, we take a look at highlights.
Let's take a look at the highlights.
Here we
if you
go.
will.
First quarter highlights. Susquehanna jumped out 2-0. Nice feed from Willett to McLaughlin, leading scorer for them, and then Willett gets in the action. He scores. Marywood comes back. Maney has 2 goals in that first half. There's the second one, getting low on the goalie, and then Willett there. Saved by Vivale. He's played excellent in that first quarter. He's kept really Marywood in the game. The second quarter, Marywood took the lead. Casto to goal. 2 more goals from Susquehanna to tie it at 3. McLaughlin, his second of the afternoon. And great save. Vivale in goal. Marywood takes the lead there. That was the freshman Johnson, but this is what we want to talk about.
Perfect save right here. He just went right. He watched the ball all the way into the net of his stick. That's exactly what a goalie should be doing, and he has been doing that the whole first half. So the Marywood goalie had to step in. He has stepped in and stepped up, and
that he has.
He's doing pretty good there.
He has.
If you look at these stats, we've got the shots on goal pretty even. Face-offs, hit and miss there, man up. Both of these teams are strong. These are 2 strong teams out here playing a very strong lacrosse game. This is a good game to watch.
Well, I got to tell you, Mead's come in at the face-off for the Riverhawks, and he's done well. He just won that one to begin the second half.
And we mentioned before how important that face-off can be. You can, maintain a your pace and possession and keep a run going. So. Right here, we've got Marywood up by 1, but as we've seen this afternoon,
Susquehanna with 12 shots on the afternoon. Vivale has one really shot on goal save. Oh, I should say 4 saves overall.
Yeah,
for
he's made 4.
Yeah, 4 saves.
Many saves.
Giving up 4 goals. There's one, and it bounces out.
He made another great save.
Of course, Vivale out of Freehold, New Jersey, stepping in for Biancardi, who's sick, and he's doing an excellent job in goal. And you would think the way he's playing is, Coach Perel might have to think about who's going to play goal next game.
It's a good problem to have if you've got 2 really good goalies, and if this is the backup, their starter must be great.
So here are the Pacers. They have 10 shots on goal. The goalie has 1 save. That's Dylan Appalap for Susquehanna. He's 6'3" out of Graysonville, Maryland. He's a sophomore. Mr. Appalap doing a nice job. So we have a tight game here at Marywood. Third quarter. First to 2 here on MyTV. Coming up at 7:30, we have high school action between Delaware Valley and Scranton Prep.
In between this game and that game, we're going to look to do a little clinic for some of the kids out on the field. So,
yeah, if you're watching the game, you want to see a little lacrosse, come over. About 6 o'clock, we'll have a youth clinic, 6 to 6:45. Members of the Scranton Youth Lacrosse Association will be here, but anybody's welcome to come and maybe check out a little lacrosse action. So here are the Pacers up 1, and this is Casto behind. He's Great check in there, and good defensive cause turnover from the Riverhawks. That was Dan Murphy, number 26, and now a transition opportunity where the defense steps in. Now Susquehanna will get their personnel onto the field. Chet McLaughlin with 2 goals, number 9. He has the ball now in the X position. He's being defended by a long stick.
I'll tell you about both of these defenses are definitely communicating. They're definitely working together. The slides are coming like they should be.
Tried to feed McLaughlin inside. He couldn't make the catch, and a turnover goes to the Pacers.
Well, the first half we had a chance to talk with Mary Jo, and she did mention about how the sport is growing, and you had mentioned more local student athletes coming to Marywood, and with lacrosse growing the way that it is, like we just mentioned a couple minutes ago, have some youth kids come out here for a clinic in between these 2 games. There's a new program up in Lakeland. Hopefully we'll get to talk a little bit about that.
Shot, goal on the transition. Pacers take a 2-goal lead. That's number 14 who sticks it in the back of the net. Skylar Swope, the senior.
Number 14, he just kept driving. He pushed all the way through the Susquehanna defense. I think that the Susquehanna defense was pulled out of position a little bit there. So we'll see his drive as he comes all the way in, dodges one long stick, and then is able to get that shot off. So, yeah, Susquehanna was in process of making their substitution, getting the right people out on the field. Unfortunately for Susquehanna, didn't work out, but fortunately for Marywood, they're able to pull ahead a little bit here by 2 points. So, again, I think there's going to be a very low-scoring, very close-scoring game.
Big win by Littman. He takes the shot. Well, why not? The goalie for Susquehanna, maybe his confidence a little low, giving up 5 goals. Coming in, he's only giving up 7 goals per game. Remember, that's 3rd in the Landmark Conference. So Marywood facing a good goalie today, and they're doing a nice job of
keeping
making
the pressure.
quality shots.
Yeah, and keeping the pressure on. Like right there, win the faceoff, run it down, take a shot, and like that Marywood faceoff player, he knew that he had one of his players behind. So even if he missed it, they still would be able to maintain possession.
Good defense.
Yep, strong defense there by Susquehanna.
Louis Polari, number 22, had it.
And Marywood's playing out a little bit further on those the Susquehanna offense. So let's see here if Marywood's trying to make it happen right from the defensive side of the field.
Susquehanna last year matched the most wins in program history with 12. They ended up losing in the semifinals of the Landmark Conference. So they like to make that jump and get the NCAA berth, which they have 3 of those in program history.
It looks like right now Susquehanna is looking to control, to play their offense. So they're moving the ball around the outside. They've got one player in on the crease here. They're kind of moving their set around a little bit. It looks like they were just kind of using a little bit of the time, get their personnel ready, get the legs ready. Marywood, strong defense.
Doing a nice job on the slide. Yep. Not many shots available if you're the Riverhawks. Goes way off the mark, McLaughlin, and they get the ball back.
And there you go. The Marywood goalie just took a sprint back to the end line, and because of that, Marywood was able to gain possession.
So 10-man ride now for the Riverhawks. The goalie is out of the net.
He's out of the net. I don't know if they're in a
briefly,
full, just briefly. I think he just kind of came out to help, but they didn't go in a full 10-man ride.
They need 30 seconds to get into that box, and they do.
They do.
All you have to do is step in, and now Marywood can set up the offense. 2-goal lead for the Pacers here in the 3rd quarter.
And we're close to the benches here today. You can hear that Marywood, the bench is in on this. The whole team seems to be ready to go. So let's see if they can move their offense around. Susquehanna defense coming out way outside the box to play, match up.
13 shots on the day for the Pacers. 5 of those have gone in the back of the net. Casto can't handle it.
Yeah, a couple of quick passes. That last one was a little too fast. And now a strong clear by Susquehanna. They're able to get that ball right up to the offensive end of the field. And yeah, they'll rotate there.
One of the keys, Bob, was, I believe for Susquehanna, was transition. They haven't not had opportunities on the transition game.
No, because when I was talking with the Susquehanna coach, he was talking about how he felt he had a little more depth on the defensive side of the field. So when they do bring it up, when Susquehanna does bring it up offense, they're looking more to get set up, get the right personnel out on the field. Coach had mentioned how they don't want to just bring it down and take the first shot they see. They want to take the good shot. So they may bring the ball down, move it around between a couple of players, see what kind of movement they're going to get out of the defense.
Goes out in front. They'll set it back up.
Bob, one thing that I've been seeing on the defensive side for Marywood, it's been happening just about all day, is when a short stick gets beat by an isolation and gets replaced. Two quick saves.
What a
fantastic
day Favali's having in goal. He is seeing everything, point blank range. 2 big saves. Marywood still leads 5-3.
2 huge saves, and he's still fired up. And unfortunately, Marywood was not able to take advantage of that. But
here are the saves.
Here come these saves right here. You see the first shot, he's able to make squarely in his stick, but he stayed ready on the ball. And all he did was just watch that ball all the way through. He just watched it into his stick the second time. So great saves by that Marywood goalie there.
Here's a transition opportunity for the Pacers. Working around the horn, Maney. I think it slipped out of his cross a little bit. He's trying to go low on it.
Trying to go for a nice bounce shot there and sneak it in between the goalie and the pipe, and unfortunately was, I think it maybe slipped out a little too soon. Just went wide there. So Marywood's able to substitute and get the players in on the field that they want.
Under 6 minutes to play.
I was mentioning before about the Marywood defense. When and if a short stick defender gets beat and the slide from his team comes up to take his place, those short stick defenders were hustling to get back over and cover the open man. They weren't just standing there and being like a lackluster double team. They actually would run all the way through the crease and cover the open man on the other side of the field. And that's a very good thing to see from a defense. A lot of times, if another defender comes up to kind of take your place, some defenders will kind of stay in that place to see what's going on. But the Marywood short stick defenders are covering their man where they should be.
Looks like we might have a little bit of rain on the way. But that should be it for the night. Hopefully here at Marywood University. First game of the afternoon. And around the horn. And that is Maney again, a hat trick.
A hat trick.
20 goals on the season for Rob Maney out of Massapequa, New York. And he gives the Pacers a 3-goal lead over the Riverhawks.
Yeah, this was a nice little shot here. Coming around from behind. He's able to get through one-handed. One-handed, he was able to reach in. Take a look at this. Yeah,
so as a junior, 3 big goals in the afternoon. And then the face-off win by Littman. He's doing a better job. He's going straight in. He shoots off the mark, but the pressure continues on the Susquehanna goalie, Appalap.
I would bet that is a little bit of number one's face-off plan, is to pick up the ball, run down the field, and just shoot it. I would bet that his attackmen know that he's just going to come down and he's going to put something in on the goalie and just kind of keep beating on the goalie, So Again, we're only a 3-point difference, which isn't a lot. But both of these teams are playing strong at both ends of the field. So let's see what Susquehanna can generate up here on offense. Moving the ball around. Again, they're possessing the ball. They're going to get the personnel on the field that they would like.
So Riverhawks down 3.
And one thing about a controlled offense or a situational style of offense, Bob, is that it does let your offense all come down and get ready and get in position. However, the flip side of that coin is the defense can use that time to get ready as well. So when you're playing against a strong defense, and like I had mentioned before, the Marywood slides were coming pretty solid. If you take too much time to get ready, you're giving the defense time to get ready as well. Nice little double team right there.
McLaughlin calling for the ball, number 9. They don't give it to him. He was out in front, had a shot, and there finally he gets it. But Marywood with good defense, 3:30 to play in the third. 3-goal lead for the Pacers.
Yeah, this Marywood defense is definitely handing off players, and they're taking away passing lanes very, very well. They're working very successfully.
Good rotation. Stuart Moan likes it. His team back within 2. Number 2 scores for the Riverhawks. That is Jack Donnelly, the sophomore out of New York. His 5th goal of the season.
Looks like his shot right here just coming right back over his shoulder. It's not an easy shot to make, but I have a feeling he had that all lined up. He probably turned around, saw he didn't have a double team, and said, I'm going for the goal. So there was one point right there where the Marywood slide didn't come out as it was planned. So I would bet that Susquehanna is going to probably start looking for that more.
It looked like the goalie was blocked off a little bit too. He didn't have a good sight on him.
Yeah, he may have had a little bit of a screen. And again, that shot came almost just over the offensive player's shoulder, like over his own shoulder. So kind of did his own screen on the goalie for that one. And right here, Marywood comes up with the initial face-off.
Possession over to Susquehanna.
However, Susquehanna had a nice strong ride on that face-off, and they were able to get the ball back using their defensive players.
Well, the thing about lacrosse, if people don't know, you can get 3 goals back very quickly in this game.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's never.
They still have 30 seconds to get it over. And there they do. McLaughlin can't handle it. Great defense on the inside by Marywood McFadden. The long stick has it.
Playing very strong.
Almost steps out of bounds. No whistle. Yep,
he
went out of bounds. He tried to tiptoe through the tulips, Bob, but couldn't make it.
Didn't exactly make it. No, with the official right there, it was an obvious call for the official to make.
So Riverhawks have it, down 2 with possession in the 3rd quarter. Shot high, it was Pozio, who didn't get the start today, but he's an 18-goal scorer on the season. He's in the game right now.
That was a nice feed right into a good positioning on the crease there. But again, that defense came up pretty strong, put defensive stick right on the hands of the shooter.
Cavalli, the save. Nice low shot taken by Xantius for Susquehanna. We're under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
And it looks like Susquehanna is trying to turn things up a little bit offensively here.
Now, it is very windy here, Bob. How does that play on the passing, on the shots, and everything?
Well, in all, the lacrosse ball is a solid ball. So, and it's got some pretty good weight to it. So I don't know if it would affect, yeah, it is kind of windy. Paper's blowing around here on the desk. But I don't know if it would affect really the ball movement. However, the way it may come into play is the wind blowing by the helmets, and it might make it a little harder for the players out there to hear each other, and therefore taking away a little bit of their communication. In that aspect, it would probably make it a lot louder inside those helmets out on the field.
9 saves by Vivale, 2 big ones right there on 20 shots by Susquehanna. They come in, shooting the ball a lot, and they score on that one.
That looked like a repeat of what we saw a little earlier today. Number 9 had positioned himself right on the crease, backside to the goalie, and as soon as he got that pass, that feed, he just put it right in, right behind the goalie there. I think that we may have started off today with that kind of a shot. We take a look here. The defense was coming out to be that slide, and unfortunately they had not rotated back fast enough to pick up number 9. So the 2 players saw that opportunity, and they took care of that.
So 2 hat tricks today. This one by McLaughlin. He's got a hat trick. He's got 3 of the 5 goals, and Susquehanna's within 1 now, under near a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Littman has it for the Pacers.
Marywood came up with that face-off. Ball is down on the ground. That's never a good thing.
Marywood has it. That's Runda, number 44, out of Rockaway, New Jersey.
It looks like what Marywood is, they're trying to use as much of that time, get the right personnel out on the field. Yeah, with another little over 30 seconds to go, they'll move the ball around here. See if they can maybe get one last shot off before the end of the quarter. They've got 2 guys back at X. They're actually a little crowded back at X.
20 seconds. Here are the Riverhawks back the other way. Can they get a transition goal to tie it up? They've scored the last 2. They trailed 6-3.
10 seconds left here in the quarter. I would bet they're going to try once and then probably just pull it out because they.
Muzio out in front. Hands free shot.
Nice
save a
save.
volley. And that does it. So with that spurt of action, we go to the 4th with a 1-goal lead for the Pacers.
That was a real good save right at the end there.
That it was. Back on the campus of Marywood University, college men's lacrosse here on MyTV. The Pacers lead the Riverhawks 6-5 in a very action type of game. Bob Vanderheyden, Bob Ide, enjoying this one here on an overcast day. Rain is held out for the most part, and the action is definitely heated up, Bob, in the 3rd quarter.
Yes, it has. It looks like both of these teams are really starting to push. I think maybe they use the first half to kind of set their game plan in motion and see where they would have their success. I would bet that that 3rd quarter, both of the coaches were evaluating where they could find those little seams. And as I look down at the 2 sidelines right now, I see coaches talking with players and sharing that kind of insight.
First of 2 here on MyTV coming up at 7:30. We have high school lacrosse between Delaware Valley and Scranton Prep. But right here we have a game in doubt. Both teams trying to get the win before they head to their own conference play. Susquehanna out of the Landmark Conference, 1-1. Marywood out of the Colonial States Athletic Conference, they're 1-1 in that. So kind of a tune-up game for both. Last year was all Susquehanna. Shot and save. Save a volley right in front of the crease.
Another fantastic save. This goalie has definitely stepped up to the challenge here today.
Susquehanna now trying to put the ride on.
Trying to put a heavy ride on. It looks like they forced a bad pass with a double team.
Yeah, turnovers mounting up, Bob, for Marywood. That's their 19th of the day.
Those are going to hurt you. They're going to hurt you. You got when your goalie makes that kind of a save, as a team, you have got to capitalize on that. Bring it back up to the other end of the field and at least challenge the visiting team defense.
Shot! We're tied at 2. Number 2, Jack Donnelly finds the back of the net.
Well, we're tied at 6.
Tied at 6.
Number 2 for him.
Tied at 6 for 2.
There you go.
His 2nd goal. So a lot of 2s in there, but we're tied at 6.
A lot of 2s. That's what it was. The 2s tripped you up. But yeah, if we take a replay on this, look, this player, he came all the way around. He was fighting. Even he shot through his defender there. That defender just kind of came in, and even though number 2 had a defender just kind of leaning on him, he still wanted to get that shot off. So
he got it off all right. 6 goals now on the season for the sophomore out of Webster, New York. And we're 3 goals in a row now for the Riverhawks. We're tied here in the 4th. Good ground ball pickup. Can the Pacers get it over the line?
I'll tell you what, Lippman has been playing very smart on the face-off there. Right there, he had a ground ball situation. It was rolling, and he knew where the clear area of the field was. It was back towards his defensive end. He still just rolled it back there. He had the confidence that his long stick would get over, or if the ball rolled over the restraining line, his defense could make a play on it. So that's a smart face-off player right there. To know his plays, know his players, know his squad. Good field awareness. He's been doing very well.
Marywood working the offense. Coming in, averaging 7 goals per game. They're right about that now, but the defense is playing well.
Yeah, the Susquehanna defense is, in fact, they've switched into a man-man situation. And it's making it a little more difficult for Marywood to get some of those passes off.
17 shots today for the Pacers. 6 of those have gone in. Great cause turnover if they can get it. Ground ball picked up by the Pacers. It's very important. Mailer got that ground ball, especially tied at 6.
Yes.
Every possession counts.
Every possession counts. I mean, that goes without saying for the whole game, but especially something like this. 6-6, fourth quarter, a little over 11 minutes left. You got possession, you've got to keep possession. So making those solid passes, running through those catches.
No one on the cut. They're trying to hit someone. Yep. This is right. Oh,
yeah, it looked like a little bit of a breakdown there, right on the crease. And it looks like Marywood's making a fast transition of their players as quick as they can. Susquehanna may try to capitalize on that, but now Marywood's got all their defensive personnel out on the field.
Vale, 11 saves today for Marywood. He's keeping them in the game. On a late start.
And a perfect interception by Marywood.
Skylar Swope, who has a goal already, he's going to take it, see if they can get a goal in transition. Working around the horn. Back over the middle, and they couldn't get it.
And that last pass, Susquehanna defense got there just in time to stop that. If he had made that as a clean catch on that last pass there, he could have had a very good chance of putting another point up on the board for Marywood.
Oh, great job by the long stick to knock it out, but right into the Susquehanna cross. And now the Riverhawks going to set up their offense. 10 minutes to play in the game. Susquehanna with a win the other day against Marywood, put up 11 goals. They won that 11-6.
This is the kind of lacrosse that you like to watch. 2 strong teams playing against each other, fighting it out all the way to the end. We've got less than 10 minutes left. It's tied.
And they get it.
Susquehanna
they take the lead.
Shot.
4 in a row for the Riverhawks. And number 4 scores it for Susquehanna. Jack DiGregorio out of New York, the sophomore, his 2nd goal of the season.
This was a nice shot. It looks like it came high over his shoulder and brought the ball down all the way to the ground, just underneath. Yeah, it was a real nice overhand shot. Maybe had a little bit of an angle, but he was able to put it in, I believe, right in the 5-hole. Let's take a look at it again here.
Yep.
Yes, right in the 5-hole there. And unfortunately, the goalie couldn't get down quick enough for that particular save.
So momentum on the side of the Riverhawks. Number 4 puts it in. 4 goals in a row now for Susquehanna. They lead by 1. Now Marywood has to get angry. We talked about that the other day, and they got to play like they want it.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see how Littman what he does here on this face-off.
So how about this for face-offs? Pretty even. 8 of 16 for both.
Okay.
Littman
and
makes it
came
9.
up with it there.
Straight in for Littman.
Yep.
Blocked from behind.
Looks like Marywood offense is trying to turn on a hard ride here.
Susquehanna does a nice job bringing it into the possession box. Now they're up a goal and want to take some time off the clock.
Yeah, they're probably going to being that the game has been so close for so long, I would bet that Susquehanna is going to move the ball around. They're going to play their offense. Oh, look.
It's their game, right?
Oh, another fantastic save by the Marywood goalie there. And it was kind of an uncharacteristic pressure to try to get a goal in there. Maybe the Susquehanna coach has enough confidence in his players. He just wants them to push.
McLaughlin picked up on the defensive side. Shot wide by Lanai.
Just wide there. I don't know if the Susquehanna coach is seeing what I'm seeing, but the Marywood defense seems to be moving just a little bit slower. Not sure if this has been a long afternoon here. I mean, this field kind of sits up a little high, so we've got a wind. A constant wind is blowing off here. That can, start to take your breath away. Playing a game like this, it's grueling, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. That can start taking away a little bit of time. I'm seeing some Susquehanna players giving each other direction now. Maybe they're taking their focus off the ball, although Susquehanna's got it here. Or I'm sorry, Marywood got it here. They're bringing the ball up. And now double team.
Yep. No shot clock put on for Susquehanna there. Now Marywood down 1, under 8 to play. Will coach take a timeout, or will they try to play this one out? Johnson with the ball. Number 10 already has a goal. He's a freshman.
Oh, and a bad pass. Just off, just a little bit high.
Marywood has 3 guys there.
Yeah, big
another
scrum.
one comes in, and we're going to have it over.
Over and back.
That's a tough one.
That's a really tough one, and I believe that rule was brought in to try to keep, when the action is up at the offensive end of the field, keep it up at your offensive end of the field. So it's just in situations like that, when you're battling for it so close to the midfield line, it just adds that extra little point that you've got to pay attention to. So now Susquehanna has it, and let's see if coach wants them to attack quickly or if they're going to kind of pace this out a little bit. See how the Marywood defense is moving. Are they still sliding as fast as they were in the first half? And the slide comes pretty quick.
Off the side of the net.
Side of the net, yep, the goalie was ready for that.
And it goes over to Marywood as Susquehanna turned it over.
It looks like Susquehanna touched the glass right before it went out of bounds. So
Volokov took the shot and then couldn't handle the ricochet. So now, too many turnovers for the Pacers.
Too many and there's another one right there, as you called that.
24 in the year. On the day,
this goalie,
the goalie.
This goalie is doing fantastic today.
And we've an injured
Injured Susquehanna player, out on the field. The ref will do that. On that last transition, the official was running over to the Susquehanna bench to explain why the ball was going to Marywood on that clear. And it looked like what he was saying was that the Susquehanna player did touch the ball right before it left.
So coming up at 7:30, we have high school lacrosse right here. Delaware Valley and Scranton Prep. They played in the District 2 Championship a year ago. Delaware Valley won it 4-3. So 2 of the highly rated teams in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Here in northeastern Pennsylvania, they'll go at it right here at 7:30. 6:35 remaining. Bob Vanderhagen. Here is the injury. We took a nice shot.
Yes.
Number 23, McFadden, laid him out a little bit.
You hate to see that kind of that kind of instance at the end of a game like this. Little under 6.5 left in the fourth quarter. Hope that player will recover and get back.
Now let's watch for the shot clock. Do the referees put their hands up, and how quickly will they? Marywood down 1. Will Susquehanna trying to waste some time? There's a flag on the Pacers.
Yeah.
Opportunity for volley, saves it. They don't have it.
You know what?
And they get the ricochet and they put it in.
Well, there was a flag on the play, so that score won't count. There was a flag on the play, and
Di Gregoria gets the goal, Bob, on his own ricochet. So that's 5 goals in a row now for Susquehanna, and they've taken a 2-goal lead with 5:58 remaining. Boy, things have turned here the last few minutes.
Yes.
Coach Moen, I don't know if he didn't like the penalty or what.
Yeah, if we watch this, looks like there's the replay of the shot. There was a save right there, and then just unfortunately that first save got away from Vivaldi, and he wasn't able to recover fast enough. But he's done a great job in there in goal today.
So a big face-off now. Mead and Littman in there. Littman's done a nice job. Marywood needs possession. Too many turnovers today, 24 in all for the Pacers. Just 13 for Susquehanna.
Last time that Littman came off the field, he was kind of hanging his head a little bit. I noticed him over here on the bench. He was kind of hanging his head and shaking. I don't know if something happened to him. And in that face-off right there, as you saw, Susquehanna came up with the ball, and he stayed on the ground there a little bit. So we'll see. He was doing a great job there before.
Absolutely.
I don't know if he got hurt or if.
This is where Marywood has struggled, though, getting the ball across.
Yes.
And this time they do. They have some numbers. Out in front, goal! Pacers get one back. Maney with his fourth of the afternoon.
Now that long stick player who brought the ball up, he worked and he pulled that slide perfectly. He knew he was going to make the feed, but he lined himself up as if he was going to take the shot, which drew that slide. We'll see right here. Number 30's got it. He pulled that slide, and immediately, he was able to make that feed, and just kind of stuck it right in there. See, that's a smart assist player. They'll challenge the goal, and when the defense throws that slide at him, then they'll throw the ball to the open man. So, smart play by that long stick midfielder.
Maney with 4. He does have a 5-goal game this year, and it came against Mount St. Mary in February.
And Littman with another smart face-off there. Even though he didn't come up with the ball initially himself, he was able to roll it out to his other, to one of the other middies on his face-off squad. So
Pacers down 1, Bob, 5-18. Still 4 timeouts remaining, 2 for each team.
Now let's see what these coaches want to do.
And a
See
very
if they've got something in plan. Yeah, this is a very good game. I'm also liking the fact that storm blew by us instead of over us.
Yes. Long pass taken away.
And once again, Marywood player was just waiting for the pass to come to him.
Oh, we have a flag down. I think it's going to
there.
go against the Pacers.
Yes.
Maybe a little too high on the hit.
Yeah, we'll see what the official's going to call here.
That was Bobby Sedlock, 34. I think he's going to. 1 minute cross check against Sedlock. A big man-up opportunity for Susquehanna.
And Susquehanna, if we watch this here, it looks like, the cross check went up, just a little too high there. You got to be careful with that. You get up there in the throat section of the opposing player and you can cause some damage. So now Susquehanna will have this. It looks like
Susquehanna 0 for 2 on the man up. Marywood's done a nice job on the defensive end. But this is a minute opportunity and a minute off the clock if you're Susquehanna up 1
if
goal.
you're Susquehanna, you'll use the whole minute before you wind up taking that shot, since they had some success in the last couple of offensive possessions. Yeah, they may be looking to just kind of run out this time here.
Marywood has a very good man down defense. Shot off the mark. 22 seconds on the man-up opportunity for the Riverhawks.
Looking like the Riverhawks started off in a 1-3-2 type of a set and then switched into a 1-4-1. Now they've got 2 back at X, looking to feed up top.
Oh, that finds the back of the net. Man-up goal. Donnelly again off the left hand.
You'll see that when Susquehanna made that pass from X to the man up top, it drew the Marywood defenseman off of the crease, and that opened up that shooting lane right there.
Donnelly's 3rd goal of the afternoon. McLaughlin has 3 as well. We have 9 goals on the board for Susquehanna.
Yeah, when that pass went up top, it pulled out the defense. You can see a couple of them wound up a little bit too high, and that opened up that shooting lane for Susquehanna. Well, let's see, 4 minutes left, just down by 2. we've seen a lot of back and forth action today.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, Littman did not come up with that one.
This is Mead, the junior out of New Jersey. He gives it up, and now time is on the side of the Riverhawks.
And they've got possession. So
now we're going to look at the possession clock.
I would say, yeah.
How long will the referees wait?
I knew you were going to ask that.
I always ask that.
You've been asking that since the second
That's
quarter.
my favorite question.
So for those of you at home, keep watching the referees and see if you can call it before Bob does.
I'm gonna watch the referees. The guy, he's looking.
Okay. Well,
I think they have to put it on now. Susquehanna's really doing nothing.
Yeah, when the offensive team is leading and then they start to kind of blatantly, delay and take some time off the clock. That's when the refs, the officials will pull that in. And I think, officials will at this level they use their good judgment. I can see them. They're looking at each other, Bob.
They're pointing at each other.
Here it comes. Yeah, they're going to call it in a second here. They want to.
I think they're giving them time.
Yeah, I think they were looking for.
Here it comes.
Now you can hear. I think the.
Here it comes.
And
there
here
it is.
Okay.
30-second shot clock's on. Possession clock, I should say.
Bob's happy.
No, I'm not happy. I'm just saying. It's.
And now here, let's see what happens when Susquehanna.
Well, this is what makes lacrosse exciting because you can come back now.
Yes, it does. Yes.
It gives the opposition down a chance to come back.
Yes.
Does the coach call timeout or 2:30 on the clock? They have to reset the shot clock. I think the 14.
Looks like we're working the shot clock here.
So we're just working out the shot clock. Should be down to 14, 2:31 remaining in the game. 2-goal lead for Susquehanna. Marywood led 6-3 in the third quarter, Bob. So great adjustments by the Riverhawks to come back.
And that shows, that the team is just going to keep playing. You always want, teams to play the entire game, not give up or not, slack off, if you will. But both of these teams have been playing this entire game, and right now
we're just going to roll the time off till we get to 14.
Yeah, they're going to fix the
shot
clock.
So Susquehanna today have taken 34 shots. That's right around their average. They have 9 goals. Marywood's taken 19. 15 saves for the Pacer goalie, Ravale, in there. He's done a nice job keeping him in the game, but I think the story of the game, if you look at the number of turnovers. $25 turnovers for the Pacers, just 14 for Susquehanna.
Okay, we're back to the action here.
Under 10 on the possession clock.
We'll see if
here comes a 2-man ride.
Susquehanna.
Shot taken, and we'll go over to the Pacers. Let's see if Coach Perrell wants to call timeout. I think he'll wait till they bring the ball up.
Yeah, I think he's going to want to get the ball at least up over the midfield line. He may have to wait until it gets into the offensive box. Let's see if he's going to call.
No, the offside.
Oh, I think Marywood got caught offside.
Marywood caught offside. That's a big mistake by the Pacers.
With 2 minutes left, down by 2, they needed that possession. So
now they're going to have to just.
Marywood is kind of
self-destructing a little bit.
Well, yeah, with a little bit of the some of those passes that resulted in turnovers.
Save a volley. It rolls in. What's the goal? It is a goal for the Riverhawks.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, he made a great save. The ball popped out of his stick, and unfortunately rolled right back.
So with that, we'll take a quick timeout. 1:35 left. 10-7 Susquehanna.
College Lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by Wendy's.
We are back on overcast afternoon at Marywood University. Susquehanna's come storming back. They've scored 6 of the last 7 goals, I should say. 10-7 is the score. We are tied at 3 at one point. It was a 6-3 lead for Marywood, so 7 goals to 3 is the advantage in the last quarter or so, and Susquehanna has a 3-goal lead, looking for their 9th win on the year. If they win it here, it could be huge. They win the face-off, and they have a chance to ride this one out.
Oh, and Littman almost had an interception in that pass there.
Shot on goal and a ball over to Marywood. 1:17 remaining. Marywood down 3 goals.
Well, they're playing all the way to the end. Like we had said, you know, close game all the way through. We got a minute left. Let's see if Marywood can get the ball up.
They don't have a lot of time to do it either.
Yeah, they got to hurry and get the ball up their offensive end of the field here. The attack has got to come forward and do something.
They get up quick. Casto had it in and out of his
In and out of his stick there,
Yep.
yeah. Made a great one-handed catch, and then unfortunately his momentum carried him.
Goes out of bounds. The call will go to the Riverhawks. 45 seconds. They can get to their 9th win of the year and come up to Scranton to pull off a nice victory after they trailed 6-3.
And it looks like, yeah, they're just going to...
Susquehanna going to take
draw it
on
out
Catholic at home, so big game coming up for them. That's on Saturday, and then they head to Goucher. Marywood takes on Immaculata as they start CSAC play. Under 20 to play. Flag comes in. It's going to go against the Pacers, but it might mean nothing at this point.
8 seconds left, yeah.
Just being aggressive on defense.
Yes.
And that will do it. Susquehanna comes to Scranton. They pull off the big win. 10-7 is the score. And a bunch of big goals from Chet McLaughlin and Jack Donnelly, who have kept the Riverhawks in it, and they pull out the victory. So Marywood drops to 4-8 on the season. Riverhawks go to 9-3 overall, and when we come back, we'll talk to the winning coach here on MyTV.
College Lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by Wendy's.
Back at Marywood University, Susquehanna comes to Scranton. They pull off a 3-goal win over the Pacers. And joining me right now is the longtime coach of the Riverhawks, Stuart Moding. Coach, down 6-3. Did you change anything?
No, we just wanted to maintain our composure, try to keep doing the right things, and hopefully things would fall for us. Their goalie played an outstanding game, and I got to give him credit for really holding us back with some goals and just an outstanding performance on his part. So we just keep doing the right things, and hopefully things would fall our way.
You head now to Landmark Conference play. You have a big game against Catholic coming up. Talk to me about the conference.
Well, our conference is very, very competitive. I think there's, every year there's 4 or 5 teams that can win it. They're all really close games. We have great parity in our conference, and that makes it a lot of fun. So, but to come here, midweek to have a game, a real competitive game to help us get better in preparation for the tough conference play, really helps out. We appreciate Marywood having us here.
Become a rivalry a little bit between you two. I know Scranton's down the block for Marywood, but Scranton's a rivalry with you. But you and Marywood have been playing every year.
Yes, we have. I think that's been good for both programs. It's helped with the growth of both programs. Good for lacrosse in Central Pennsylvania, and we want to encourage that growth. I see they have a youth team coming out ready to play right behind us, and that's just great to see as a coach. So yeah, as long as we can both push each other to get better, help prepare them for their conference play, helps prepare us for our conference play, and it's been a great rivalry and a great situation for both of us.
Coach, thanks a lot. I appreciate the time.
Thank you very much for your time.
Let's bring in Coach Van now to wrap things up. I think the difference you look at on the stat sheet, too many turnovers for Marywood to let Susquehanna back into the game.
Yes, that I would say that's what it was. They turned the ball over just a little too much because their goalie did phenomenal. Their offense was out there doing what they needed to do. They were moving the ball around. Even the defense was working pretty strong too. Like I mentioned before, their slides came when they needed to. So yeah, just those turnovers that can kill you.
Okay, our first game of the afternoon is in the books. Coming up at 7:30, it's high school lacrosse. Back here on my TV, Delaware Valley takes on Scranton Prep. Bob and I will join you then. In between, though, enjoy some programming, and we'll see you back here a little bit later on tonight. Final score again, Susquehanna wins it 10-7 over Marywood.
College Lacrosse on MyTV WQMY is presented by Wendy's.